Hey class, it's Mrs. Gilling back here. If you are watching this video, that means you have finished 2 units and you are officially a third of the way through the course. So great job. Keep up the good work there. It's crazy how fast these quarters go. But we're here today to talk about project number 3. But before we do, I know you guys love it. Joke of the unit. Ready for this? What's the difference between a psychologist and a magician? A psychologist pulls habits out of rats. Get it? He pulls habits out of rats instead of rats out of hats. Anyways, rabbits out of hats. I thought that was a good one too. You're gonna tell people, I know, you laugh, you make fun of the jokes, but I know you'll find someone today and you're gonna tell that joke to them. So let's go right in the nitty gritty and talk about your third project. It is actually a speech. Now, I love this project. I was actually, don't tell anyone this, it nerds me out a little bit, but I was the president of the speech debate team in high school, so I love speeches. I think that they're a great way to present information. And as far as a psychology background, if you decide to go into that field, you'll definitely write a lot, but you also have to be able to verbally convey your thoughts and your feelings to people. If you can't verbally communicate and do things like deliver speeches, then it's really hard for you to perform your job effectively and help relate to people because that rapport is just so important. So you're going to be writing a speech this unit, so I'm excited for it. And this is your prompt. Instruction. First of all, here's a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said, "Speech is power. Speech is to persuade, to convert, to compel." If you can master the art of speech, you can pretty much master the art of persuasion. I believe that. So for Project 3, you will write a speech about someone who has achieved a greater degree of success in old age than he or she did in younger years. Explain to your audience the keys to success for this person. Take into consideration the theories and concepts of personal development, social development, and gender roles and differences when you're profiling the person you are writing about. The page attached to this activity includes instructions for the requirements of this assignment. So a little background. I was thinking about this assignment today, and this year I turned 28 years old, and I started kind of doing this mental countdown in my head. I'm like, oh man, 28. That means next year I'm 29, and then the year after that I'm gonna be 30. I'm gonna be practically dead, and that's kind of the thought process I have. And a lot of people kind of go through that when they feel like 30 is just this age. And as people get even older, they hit 50, they're like, oh man, I'm over the hill, 60, 70. People, for some reason, have in their mind that the younger years are the golden years, and that's great. Well, one thing you're going to learn in this unit is that's not always true. There's so many great things that can happen as you age and get older. So many things that if you take life in stride and you work hard, that you can be way more successful in your older years than you were in your younger years. So for this project, I want you to think of someone. It can be someone close to you, someone that's in your family. It can be someone famous. It could be someone from history. It can be someone that's alive now. It could be a grandparent, just somebody that in their old age compared to their youth has been successful, and they found a lot of that success in their older age. So think about that person, and then you're going to write a speech about them. There's an instruction page on FlipSwitch that you'll find, and it gives you the required length, the grading rubric, and it gives you just some information that you have. And this next slide I'm going to show you goes over a lot of that information. So here's your requirements. Again, the prompt is writing that speech, and I'll just read this to you. It says, for this assignment, you will write a speech about someone who has achieved a greater degree of success in old age than in his or her younger years. Explain to your audience the keys to success for this person. When you're profiling this person, take into consideration the theories and concepts of personal development, social development, and gender roles and differences. So the length. FlipSwitch tells you that it needs to be 6 to 8 paragraphs. I'll let you know a little secret. I am okay with 5 paragraphs as long as they're well written, as long as it's a solid speech. If you give me 5, that's okay. And keep in mind, 5 represents a good introduction, 3 strong body paragraphs, 3 main points, I guess, to your speech, and then a good conclusion. So if you have those 5 things, then I'll take 5 paragraphs over the 6 or 8. You're welcome to do 6 to 8, but again, I'm fine with 5 as long as they're good. The requirements include citations to give credit to the sources of information you used in your speech. So if you're doing a speech on, let's say, your grandma, and you sit down and you talk with her and you interview her to get all this information, then at the bottom of your speech, I want you to write down that you did a personal interview with your grandma, and write the information that you need for that. I want you to do it in MLA format. And I'll go ahead and InfluxSwitch put a link to a website that tells you how to put those citations if you're not familiar with how to do that. Also, I'm going to give you some options on this speech. So some people don't want to get up, and this isn't a speech class, so I'm not expecting you to get up and verbally give the speech. So if you're one of those people that prefer to just kind of sit back and write it, you can write it. I'm okay with that. Just make sure that you're writing it as a speech and not as an essay. You may wonder what the difference is. When you write an essay, you don't use a whole lot of voice. You don't put as much of your personal character into it. But when you write a speech, you're writing it exactly how you would talk. And so I want to see a lot of character, personality, a lot of voice. Make it you. Make it as if you're presenting to a group of people and not just someone that later on is reading an essay that you wrote. It's got to be a speech delivered in that format. If you want to, you can also record it. You could get out a video recorder or on your computer, actually record it, record yourself reading it or delivering it, and then send that audio file to me. You could do that if you would like. And if you choose to do that, just send me in FlipSwitch your citations. You can just send me the audio file and then write down your citations in FlipSwitch for me. Or you can film it. So if you're one of those people that loves to make videos, go ahead and film a video. If you want, upload it to YouTube and then send me the link and I can watch it there. Or you can try and send me the file. But that's also an option. So you have choices here. You can write it, you can record it, or you can film it. But any way you go, you need to have a speech there. One more thing I wanted to point out, the right here, when it says take into consideration the theories and concepts of personal development, social development, and gender roles. So these are 3 things that you're going to go a little more in depth in this unit. You're going to learn about how people age and what it's like to develop as an adult and the experiences that you go through. Now, I don't necessarily think that you have to write a paragraph about personal development, a paragraph about social and gender roles for each of those people, because that might not be the most interesting tribute to this person you care about or that you look up to and admire. But I do want you to be reflecting on those as you write those essays. Think about what was it in their personal development that made them so successful? What is it in their social development? They overcome any gender roles in their lives to become successful? I'll give you a quick example here. I have my grandma, and she's in her 80s now. And one of the things that it talked about socially is that a lot of people will women will get an empty nester syndrome as they get older and their children leave the house. Well, it mentioned in there that if you have a strong, in FlipSwitch, there was an article that mentioned that if you have a strong support system, so if you have like a spouse you're living with or a good group of friends, then you're not as likely to experience that. And instead, you find opportunities in your life. And so my grandma had 3 kids, and when they moved out, she didn't just sit around going, oh man, like I feel lonely. Like she accomplished a lot of great things. She went and she worked at a care center and helped people out there. Now in her older age, my grandpa has since passed away, but she does so many cool things. The other day, she called my mom and she said that she took a broomstick and she stuck it up on its end, and it was just standing there. And she thought it was so cool that she went to all these people that she knows. She went to their houses showing them. It was during the equinox, and I'll let you know a little secret. People think that if you stand a broom up on the equinox, that it'll stand up, and that's the only time of year to do it. Technically, it'll do it other times of the year, but don't tell my grandma that. But anyway, she thought it was so cool that it was standing up like that she went to all these different people from house to house showing them how cool her broom was. Even at the store, she's like, hey man, look at my broom, like it stands up. And she even went to the news channel and she showed them. So in her older age, she's finding success in her own way, being happy just by the support system that she has. That she had my grandpa during the earlier years of her old age, and then now she's got us, me and my mom and my aunts and uncles all looking out for her. And so that just kind of shows, as to how social things kind of relate to her success. And so just think of those things as you write your essay. Make sure that you're including psychology in here and ideas. The important thing is I need to know what made them successful. Explain to your audience the keys to success. An easy way for you to write this essay is to give me 3 keys to success. 1 paragraph talking about the first thing that made them so successful. Another paragraph talking about a second thing that made them so successful, an attribute, something along those lines, and a third thing. And that'd be a great way to pull in personal development, social development gender roles. Like I said, they don't have to be specifically that, but if you could tie one of these in each, that would be awesome. That'd be a great way to pull that in. And if you have any specific questions, like always, I'm available. But I'm really excited about reading your speeches or listening to them. And again, I think it's a fun format for you. And I'm excited to learn about who you look up to, who you view in your life as successful in their old age. And it'll be really fun for me to read and fun for you to write, I think. So now that you've watched this video assignment, please, please, please go to our Google Classroom and complete your video assignment. It will take you just a couple minutes and I'll earn you some points and it'll help me know that you watched the video. So thanks so much, guys, for watching this video. Like always, let me know if you have any questions. But until then, great luck with this unit.